everybody. Welcome to the Kim Congdon Takeover. I'm Kim Congdon, here with my guest. It's me again, Kim Congdon. Another solo. Here we go. Let's get into it. Bhad Bhabie just had her baby. The best white rapper alive, as I call her, Bhad Bhabie. I'll tell you right now, this girl, I was like, I had like 3 or 4 summers where I was obsessed with watching Dr. Phil. And God, call me crazy, but the Dr. Phil episode, I kind of remember watching it, if I'm not nuts, in 2008. Would that be right? I watched the episode when it originally came out. Maybe I was visiting my mom later on, but life and career, let's see. Dr. Phil.
September 2016.
2016. Oh, 2016. That's the year I call the last good year. 2016, I don't know why, but 2016 was the last good year. It was like the last year where I felt young.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
Something changed after that.
Yeah.
Something in the air. Like the air smelled different. The sun dimmed. The colors got a little grayer. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
There was pre-Bhad Bhabie and post-Bhad Bhabie, and the world changed after this. But I remember originally watching this episode. I was obsessed with Dr. Phil. If you haven't watched Dr. Phil, it's such a good show because the people he brings on are insane, but he's also abusive. So you're watching like abused people get abused by this guy who like thinks
everything has to be barbaric.
Yes, this was it.
Like if I tell her like hate me, she'll try to hate me, and I gotta like dodge her. If she hits me, I'm giving it to her. I'm pretty right.
This was me and my mother growing up, by the way. My mother has that haircut currently. I'll tell you right now, my mom has that haircut. When I saw this girl, I related to this girl, and maybe this is a little narcissistic. I promise you, I remember I was watching this show, standing up, because I was in the middle of cleaning my room, and it was one of those things where you start watching the show and you're just standing in the middle of the room watching it. And I remember watching her and thinking in my head, she's a star. And I knew nothing about her, but something about her energy to me seemed like she just looks like she should be on TV to me. Like, is she not a fucking star? She's so cute. She's so bad. She told the whole audience to catch her outside. Catch me outside. How about that?
So you did go through the 5th grade.
The 7th, if you want to get technical.
You stopped at the 7th grade. So you did go through the 5th grade.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
7th grade dropout.
Okay. So,
A 7th grade dropout? That's real.
Yeah. Look at that face.
Dude, look at that face. A face not even her mother could love. Her mom's also, I think, kind of a piece of shit. They're both trash, and I relate to them, and I think she's a fucking star. She fucking did this. She also put out one of the best songs ever.
Yeah.
Gucci
flip-flops.
Gucci flip-flops.
Yep.
Best songs and very hard to do, incredible music video. Whoever she works with, everything she does, she makes the right choices for herself and what she chooses to do. Because at the end of the day, the shit she's putting out, she has to agree to. So she's picking the right producers. She's picking the right people. Gucci flip-flops, the music video is incredible. If you haven't seen it, it's based in like the 50s. Am I wrong?
I don't know if I've even seen it.
Oh my God. Can we watch it? Are we allowed to watch it?
I don't know. Well, we can't play the audio.
Okay. That's fine with me. The song is good. If you haven't heard Gucci flip-flops, it's good. It's called Gucci flip-flops because she's wearing them, and the thing she says is Gucci flip-flops, fuck it, I'll hit your bitch in my socks. She just loves to fight, and it's hilarious. And then she does this music video where she looks like a really sweet girl, and then they're watching her do the song on the music video with her family. I don't know why it's in
This is really
Farsi
well done.
or Hebrew.
Yeah, that's just YouTube, whatever.
I don't know what's going on, but
I mean, she's a world star.
Yeah.
She's an international superstar.
she is. And this video is so good. It's so entertaining. She looks so sweet, and the whole family is like disgusted watching her on the video. But the song is so good, they all start getting into it. And like you can fast forward it a little bit, but like you'll see by the end of the song, the whole family is turned up. Like, I don't know. Wait, yeah. Hold on.
Is that David Spade?
Oh, yes. Okay. And then it's David Spade. Pause right here. So then it has David Spade in it. And this is one of my favorite stories because I watched this happen in real time because I was obsessed with this girl because when she started becoming famous, I remember telling people like, I called it. When I watched the fucking episode, I knew she would be famous. She was just a star. And David Spade had spotted her at one of the pool parties at one of these hotels or some event or whatever, and he had asked her for a picture because she was going viral for Catch Me Outside at that point.
Spade loves that.
Spade loves that. Yeah. And he loves, he's a comedian. He's on top of the funny shit.
Yeah.
And so he asked her for a picture with her and he posted it. She then reposted the picture because he posted the picture and he said, ran into someone, catch me out, hashtag catch me outside, something like that. She reposted the picture and the caption was, no lie, I thought this was the waiter. Because everybody was like, that's David Spade. And she thought it was a waiter. And then that went crazy viral. And then she put him in her music video. So, and like the whole thing I love.
That's great.
The whole fucking thing, the back and forth. Every decision she makes, I think is so smart. I really have respect for this child. And yeah, look at the end of the video, her whole family's changed. They all have tattoos. The mom and dad are fucking and smoking on the couch. She's dancing. Little Yachty's in it. She's great. She was also underage when this came out. She's a very cute girl and she's got big boobs. And what she did, she Mary Kate and Ashley'd herself, which I think it's wrong to do to someone. But as an entrepreneur and who she is, she did it for herself. She had a plan. She started promoting her OnlyFans a week before she turned 18 or a month before. And I think she's like one of the top OnlyFans.
Yeah. So she definitely capitalized that in a big way.
Yeah. So how much does she make on OnlyFans? I think and I don't think she even goes full nude. I don't think she's doing anything really crazy. Maybe she has her boobs out. But OnlyFans earnings, huge monthly earnings. Wow. So she
18 mil in her first
18
month.
million in her first month. She made 18 million. I don't even know if she does it anymore. I think she might not do it anymore. She made millions and millions and millions of dollars.
I mean, you only need to do the 1 month.
You only need to do the 1 month and never do it again.
Yeah.
And then she found a boyfriend and she just had a baby. She literally just had a baby. I mean, for someone who could have ended up in prison, she did really well. And she made really smart moves, and she actually did she had like talented work behind it.
All from Dr. Phil.
Dude, I'm a huge Bhad Bhabie fan. I really am. I've supported her from the beginning. I think she's fucking cool. And her mom reminds me of my mom, so I like to see the trashy win that she got. She won, but she made it her own style.
Yeah, she's on top for sure.
It's a really catch me outside way to make money. Like the whole thing that she did. So yeah, I'm a fucking huge fan of hers. She's fucking sick. I think she's one of the best white rappers alive. Don't tell Eminem. Although Eminem changed my life when I got Eminem. My stepdad, I think it wasn't the Eminem show. It was Marshall Mathers, but the number six, he said, you can listen to every song but number 6. And that was Drips. And that one is bad. That one I heard and I was like, I didn't even know STDs did that to a dick. But yeah, it's spring break. People are out.
Are you partying?
No, you know what I think is weird? I think it's weird when adults consider partying during that week's spring break.
Yeah.
Like if you're anywhere over 24.
If you graduated college.
Yeah. Which I give it to 24 because then you might have some friends that are in college and you're still in that mindset.
Yeah.
Whether you go to school or not, you're kind of still young, 24 and under. But I don't think anyone in their mid-20s and above should be celebrating spring break specifically. Unless you have children and you are going on a spring break trip with your family because everyone's off school. Then that's when you can be like, spring break. But if you're going solo to a beach to get drunk.
Well, Miami Beach canceled the festivities this year.
They did.
They're not allowing groups. They're not allowing big parties. They're busting it all up.
Too trashed every year?
Yeah. They announced it a few weeks ago.
Oh fuck. You know it's trashy when Miami's like, we got to shut it down. You guys went too hard. You know it got crazy.
For the last 30 years.
Oh yeah. You can't stop them, dude. You can't fucking stop them. You can't add neon lights to your building and tell people to stay out. They're like flies to that shit. I'm sorry. Your city can't look like that at night. And you're like, we're not partying. Sorry. Sorry. We didn't mean to put the neons on tonight, but we're keeping it classy tonight. Miami's never been classy. It's been the place to party.
So for the past few weeks, Miami Beach has posted public service announcements that encourage people to break up with spring break and rethink their beach holiday after recent years have been seen pandemonium in the streets. Huge crowds of intoxicated people. And
they should start telling them to go to countries that they won't know will get them killed for that. Let's just start pushing. Where will you get killed for partying too hard?
Russia.
There you go. Spring break. We should start pushing spring break in Russia. Spring break Russia 2025. Let's get some of these kids out of here before they become adults with jobs and power.
Especially some of these kids. They'll lock them up.
Oh, my God. A Russian prison sounds like whoa.
See, this is what they're trying to avoid here.
But this has been it. Spring break's always been crazy like this. What, this looks like this is what they're trying to avoid? It looks like a great time.
Let's go, baby. It's that time of year again. Spring break.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. That dude's going to rape someone behind a dumpster later.
For a good time. And with its beautiful beaches and wild nightlife, the Sunshine State is spring break's mecca. Hotspots like Daytona Beach and Panama City Beach became synonymous with epic debauchery.
This is the grind. I am your host.
After shows like MTV's Spring Break set up on the sand back in the 90s. But
Did you ever go?
Some of that
Oh,
has gone overboard.
did I go to spring break, Lee? Let me tell you about my spring break. My spring break got kind of wild one year. I went to spring break one time in college, and I was friends with a slut. And I'll tell you right now, that'll get you in trouble. It's a lesson I learned.
Where'd you go? Miami
I remember
Beach?
after college, after being friends with this girl, my life quote changed from like birds of a feather. Like I was saying that all the time after I was friends with her because I had learned such a big lesson not to be friends with sluts because they'll get you in trouble. You think it's cool. And to be honest, not all the time. Some sluts will hook it up. But this is one thing you can't. This is the one thing.
Sluts with heart of gold.
No. They don't have hearts of gold. They have pussies of gold. But this is what you have to accept about sluts. They will be some of the best hangs you'll ever have. They will never be loyal. That's why they're sluts. Whatever is in their pants comes first to anything else. Their family, themselves, people they love. So if you're going to be friends with a slut, this is just personal advice from me. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being friends with a slut. But you need to understand a slut will never be loyal. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. It sounds like you're also describing a cokehead. You know, like,
well, they're like they fiend for dick and pussy.
Yeah.
Depending on what we're talking about.
yeah.
But yeah, it is like their coke. It's like they will exactly with a cokehead. It's like you can't if you leave coke out, they're gonna take some.
Yeah, and they're gonna walk away with the 20 at the end of the night too.
You got to have an extra bag of coke out for them already to steal. You know what I mean? You got to accept that this is who they are and this is what it is.
But it's a good hang.
It's a good hang.
It's a good
hang. So I became friends with a slut in college, and it was so fun. We got invited to all the coolest shit. She was super hot. We got into every club. She was very fun, and she was like, "Let's go on spring break," and I was like, "Cool." Let's go on spring break. She's like, we should go to Panama City. We were really poor at this time. And I was like, okay, like, what are we going to do? We don't have money for a hotel. We're in college. I was like, we don't have money for a hotel. Like, what? And she was like, I'll find us a hotel. And so we go the first night and then we pack, like, I packed the car with like pillows and blankets. I'm like, we'll probably end up sleeping in the car. Let me just pack the car. And I didn't care. Like, when you're 18, you don't give a fuck where you sleep, really. So we packed the car and she finds a boyfriend the first day. And these guys are some of the coolest people we've ever met. I'm like 18 and we're having the most fun with these guys. And they actually let us sleep in their hotel room and give us our own room. And they're actually really nice. And we don't she doesn't even hook up with anybody and everything's fine. The next day we're at the beach and we're at this concert and I am drunk. We brought our own alcohol. I'm 18 years old. I'm 19 years old, I think. I just left college to do spring break for the first time. I'm having a great time. I start flirting with this guy. We're like at this concert dancing. It's been like 30 minutes. He goes, "Hey, do you want to get on my shoulders?" I was like, hell yeah. So I also, oh yeah, I forgot that this is my second spring break. My first spring break I did when I was 18 to the same city, but I brought a boyfriend and it was the worst idea ever.
Yeah.
It was the worst idea ever because my friends convinced me to get into a bikini contest. I just remembered this.
And then he got all pissed
and I
off.
got third place and he wasn't there. Yeah. He was like, you didn't even invite me to it? I was like, it was spur of the moment. They just said, does anybody want to do it? And then I won. Third place. I was so proud I got $100. And yeah, so he was really mad about that. That was like my first like relationship fight was me going to do a bikini contest in spring break. I'll try to find the picture.
At least you won.
Yeah, third place. Third place bikini contest winner at Panama City Beach 2010.
Okay. Put it on the wall.
And then okay, so then the next year I went with the slut when I was single. And then we stayed at that guy's house. Then we were at the concert. I'm on this guy's shoulders. We're having a great time. We're flirting. I'm like, this guy's kind of cute. We're at this thing. And then suddenly I look down and he's arguing with some girl. And I can tell right away that this is his girlfriend. And I'm literally, my pussy is on his neck. I've probably peed on him. I've quite literally marked my territory. I didn't mean to. I didn't know. I don't even know this guy. I have no idea who this guy is. I don't know his name. We were just kind of hanging out and I couldn't see. And he was like, "I'll lift you." And
he's like, "You want to put your pussy on my neck?"
Yeah. He just wanted my pussy on his neck. He was cold. And so they're fighting and she's like, and then, it goes from her fighting with him to her looking at me and being like, "And who the fuck is this bitch?" And I'll never forget this. I told this on Ryan Sickler's podcast and he thought it was so funny because one of his sponsors is Coors Light. And Coors Light, if you're hearing this, hit me up, sponsor me. And she took a Coors Light and it was full. And she fucking whipped back and like literally baseball threw it at my face, like a full can of beer. And it fucking popped me in the face, like right in the nose. And I was like so shocked. And immediately, this is my first fight ever. And I've been in 2 fights. And I'll tell you the second one right after this. And then he immediately grabs me by my butt cheeks and throws me on top of her. And I land on top of her. So we just naturally start fighting. Like at this point, she's hit me with a can. He's thrown me on her. They've kind of forced me into a fight. So she starts swinging. I start swinging. While I'm fighting her, I can hear the sound of glass on my head. Hitting my head. And I don't realize that her 2 friends are now hitting me with bottles in the head.
Oh my God.
Empty bottles, like beer bottles, and I can hear like the ding, ding, but it's not hurting because of the adrenaline,
That's brutal.
Yeah. So then, a big circle forms around the beach. I'm fighting 3 girls now. It kind of looks like the corner of this screen right now, but on the sand surrounded, it kind of does look like something like this. Yeah, like one of those moments. Yeah, it's a little like that. Let's see it. Yeah, it's chaotic. There's sand everywhere. At one point, I remember there's a scratch that went underneath my cheek, and there was like sand and blood in it. And we get pulled away from each other, and yeah, we get pulled away from each other, and I stay and do spring break still. That was like the first night of spring break, and I feel fine. And everybody on the beach saw it. So then immediately it kind of became cool for me because I became the girl that got jumped but did good in the fight. And everybody was like, "We saw that. You really held your own. They were hitting you with bottles. That was crazy." And it was like I kind of wanted to stay because I had like my little scar under my eye and I had been like the one that got jumped. So then it became fun and I stayed. But 2 weeks later, I go back home. I mean, I didn't stay there for 2 weeks. That would be absolutely insane. We have a great time the rest of spring break. She finds us a place to stay every night because she was a whore. And and then we get back home. 2 weeks later, I'm hanging out at this place called Techno Tuesday. And I look because I want to go to the bathroom. And this is where I go back to college, like 8 hours away from where I did spring break. I did in Panama City. I went to school in Gainesville. I think that was really far. I'm not sure how far, but it felt like 8 hours when I was driving. How far is it? Because this is kind of crazy. Okay, 4 hours. But during spring break, it was probably closer to 8, to be honest. So 4 hours away, 2 weeks later, I'm in a nightclub. I look over at the bathrooms and I fucking see the girl who threw the Coors Light can in my face.
Back at college?
Back in college. Apparently, she goes to my school. We're both just 4 hours away at the same spring break spot. And she's waiting. She doesn't see me. I see her. And she's waiting, like with her arms crossed in a line for the bathroom. And I think she's by herself. And literally, this is when I was still an animal. I'm not like this anymore. I think before I do things now. But I mean, without thinking, I'm in the middle of like talking with friends and I see her and I just beeline it to her and I just fucking stick her in the face as hard as I can. Like just straight in the face. And I remember her head had bounced off my hand on the wall and back to my hand. Like I hit her so hard.
You double jumped her?
Yeah. And then immediately I got borderline knocked out. Apparently she was with friends. This bitch, one thing about this bitch, she didn't fight alone ever.
She's got friends.
Dude, because I got borderline knocked out. It was my first black eye I ever got. I just got punched in the eye so fucking hard by a huge bitch. And turns out, and then so yeah, that happened. We got split up at the club. I went back home. I was icing my eye. Come to find out, they are the college I was at. It was their volleyball team. Those are the girls on the volleyball team that I started a beef with. So then, yeah, and then I find out that the girl's boyfriend that I was on his shoulders lives in my apartment complex. Literally in my apartment complex. A guy I saw on spring break who I didn't know at all was in my building. So I know I'm going to see this bitch again. And then, well, I don't know if I can say who it is, but I've said it on a podcast before and people know, but I don't know if I should say the name. The girl that punched me in the face was a very famous basketball coach's daughter who's currently still very famous.
Okay.
And may have coached for the Celtics.
I wouldn't know it, so you don't have to say it for my benefit.
Okay. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So so his daughter punched me in the face and then that girl came up to me and she
I know
was
who you're
like,
talking about.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Do you?
I'm from Boston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why'd you say you didn't?
I didn't think I would. I don't know. I don't know
Oh.
NBA at all, but now I know exactly what you're talking. You give a lot of context clues.
Yeah. No, that's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah,
It was his
that's wild.
daughter, and
Yeah.
she punched me in the face, and she has some reach because that family's tall. And she punched me. I don't even know if she probably has no idea who I am, and I've talked about this podcast or in different podcasts, and I've seen people tweet at her like, "You punched Kim Congdon," and she's probably like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, who? What?
But yeah,
You mean
that did happen.
The girl with her pussy on my boyfriend's neck?
Yeah, no, her friend.
Oh, her friend.
Her friend was the coach's daughter.
Oh,
that
so
hit
that's
me.
even more removed. That's
Yeah.
just random
She
girl.
just punched me because her friend got punched, which I respect, kind of.
Yeah.
Whatever you got to do to protect your friend, I guess. But yeah, and then I remember like me and that girl were both going. We found out. At this point now, we know who's friends with who, and you start finding out, oh, you know this person. We both find out we're going to the same event, and I swear to God, she like calls me up, and she's like, I want to talk to you, and we meet up, and I'm like, here we go again. I'm like, this is gonna be my forever enemy that I keep having to fight, and we meet up, and she's like, we can't do this forever, and I was like, oh, thank God, and then we literally like hugged and became friends, kind of after that.
That's sweet.
Yeah, after 2 fist fights. Those were my 2
after
fights with the same girl.
Getting jumped by a million girls.
With Coors Light.
Did your face split open from the Coors Light?
No, I had like scratches. No, the Coors Light was just a can. Like my face was swollen. Like I remember my cheek was swollen and like I had scratches. I looked a little fucked up at first.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I've never really been in fights. I was in one.
How was it?
I got beat up.
Oh no.
Yeah. Was it?
So sad.
But then it was this turn of events. He was made to come back and apologize.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was like drug dealing things and like.
Wait, hold on. Who made him apologize?
The like head drug dealer who liked me, and he was like selling drugs for him.
Were you a drug dealer?
Lightly, yeah. And so it was at a party. He stole this girl's phone.
This is like an episode of Breaking Sad.
Yeah.
He beat me up.
He was at a party. This girl was sitting next to me. We were talking, and then he like randomly came in, sat next to me. I was like, okay, whatever. And I didn't think about it, and he left. And then this girl came back. She's like, oh, is my phone around here? I'm like, oh, that dude totally just sat and grabbed your phone. And so I chased him outside. He went straight outside. I chased him outside, and I was like, yo, I think you picked up a phone that's not yours. And then they called it, and it's ringing. I'm like, dude, just give me the phone. It's no big deal. Like, I don't give a shit. Just give me the phone. And so.
Also, that's the whitest way to deal with that. It's like, dude, just give me the phone. It's like,
don't care.
You're like, please, man, just give it up.
Yeah. And so
you were such a nice drug dealer.
And so,
dude, come on, make better life choices. You have fentanyl in your pocket.
And so, out of nowhere, his friend just comes and starts punching me in the face because he thinks I'm going to start hitting him.
Oh, fuck.
And so I'm getting my ass kicked in the driveway of this party. All my friends are inside. I have like 30 friends inside, and nobody knew what was going on. And then it was until after I got completely.
So you went to confront somebody, and then their friend punched you. I call that the old. We're gonna have to bleep that probably.
Yeah, we gotta bleep that.
I don't even get it, so whatever.
It's daughter.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Yeah, life's crazy. Life hits you quick.
And it was the night before my senior photos, so I was like all swollen up before my senior photo.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, I do not miss being in school at all. I don't. I mean, I miss high school kind of. My senior year of high school was really fun because I did this thing. This is kind of weird, but if you had a job in high school and you were working more than a certain amount of time per week your senior year, you could get approved to only go half days if you were caught up on your credit and go to work for the rest of the day. So isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah.
It's just like, can't we just wait a year for when I start working for the rest of my life? Like, why is this?
They're like, you don't want to be here. Nobody wants you here.
Yeah. They kind of don't care anymore. But in high school, I got involved in a pyramid scheme called prepaid legal. I don't know if it's still a thing.
And is this what your job was to get out of school?
No. I worked at an Irish pub that was like a franchise called Beef O'Brady's. It fucked, dude.
It's called prepaid what?
Prepaid legal. I got into this Legal Shield. Yeah, that's the other name for it. You know, when a company has two names, that's already sketchy.
I've used this company.
Have you?
Yeah. They're not a scam.
Could I have been the Wolf of Wall Street? Because when they started up, I worked for them, and I was selling Legal Shield to people and making money in high school. But then I convinced myself it was a pyramid scheme and stopped. But it was like you had to like.
I mean, our lawyer did not do a good job.
No, okay, this is okay. Wait a minute, he didn't.
No, he sucked.
It was
the
jank
worst.
lawyers.
Yeah,
it's 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 I don't know.
But he was cheap.
I'll tell you, yes. I'll tell you this. Legal Shield was the service you got if you got prepaid legal. Does that make sense?
So you prepaid legal, you would pay ahead of time for legal services through.
When you probably could have just got, it was a middleman for no reason.
Yeah.
That was like, if you get us, we'll give you Legal Shield.
Yeah. That's a scam.
So it was a scam. So it was prepaid legal. Nothing came up for prepaid legal. Yeah, dude. I'm sorry to tell you, Lee. You had a pyramid scheme lawyer. That hurts when you find out your lawyer was part of a scheme. Yeah, I got to tell you. I hope you weren't.
We had a good case and he lost.
What was the case?
It was breaking a lease.
Oh, okay.
And we had lost and had to pay. Well, we had to pay like half of what he was gonna, but he would have taken that anyway. And then we had to pay what we were gonna have to pay.
You know where that half went? Lawyer. To the person that sold the contract.
Yeah,
to get three more people on it.
And then it turns out that like the lawyer we got hooked up with and his lawyer were friends, and they were just like making deals without us. It was
It's sketchy.
It was so fucked
It's
up.
sketchy. But yeah, dude, I was pretty good at it. My cousin got me into it. He got me convinced. He's like, you get your own lawyer. And now that you're driving, you need it. My cousin was a year older than me. So he was a senior. And I think I was a junior when I got into this.
Yeah,
And
previously known as prepaid
legal services. Yes. We went to meetings and everything, dude. And I sold to my mom. I sold to a couple of friends. I sold to a few adults. I was pitching it at the Beef O'Brady's I was working at to the regulars at the bar. I got a couple of them. I was like, dude, you drive home drunk every night. You need this. Like, you have an attorney at like on call, basically 24/7 was the service. I got my teacher into it. I got my teacher who was supposed to be my teacher that teaches you how to like buy houses and make good financial decisions in it. And he was at meetings with me, and this dude was like 60, and he was so nice.
Selling.
Yeah, I was selling, dude.
You're hustling legal services.
I'm the Wolf of Legal Street. Yeah, I was that girl. I was selling Legal Shield for reals. But also my school was full of pedophiles, so who knew if they were just trying to hang out with me more. I played poker with one of my teachers once, and I feel like that's kind of inappropriate in high school. And also the fact that he did have a relationship with a student and got caught. But yeah.
Was he old, or was he like in his 20s?
He was like in his 40s.
Oof.
He was in his 40s. He was pretty weird, dude. He put on a softcore porn for our class, literally. I don't know how he got away with it, but he had us watch. Someone said it was Mel Gibson's movie. I've been trying to find this movie, and someone said in the comments once, I brought it up on podcast before, Mel Gibson's Gladiator movie. No, Mel Gibson.
Was it Passion of the Christ?
No, and you know what? To be honest, I might have talked about this on my podcast before because I think we're having the same moment again. No, okay, it was this weird. He put on this weird the history of the world movie. The history of the world movie. And I remember like it was like a bunch of orgies happening and a lot of sex. And when the people were entering, it said the history of the world. I think that's it. 1981 film. Can I see the images? Mel Brooks, not Mel Gibson.
Oh, Mel Brooks. Yeah, that's what this is.
And it might have been this. Does this have a lot of sex in it?
Possibly. What was it rated?
Yeah, let's see what it's rated.
Rated R, so probably.
Yeah, already inappropriate to be showing students, right? You can't show them a rated R movie.
And Mel Brooks movies were really edgy.
Right. I remember at one point they were all walking into a place to have an orgy, and it said, God, I can't remember. Come one, come all. But it was CUM. Yeah, it was fucking weird, and there was a lot of sex in it, and there was a lot of titties in it, and he would just put it on, and I think he would just watch us watch it. And it was fucking weird. And then he would have students come into the classroom and give them massages.
That's like that Quiet on Set.
Yeah, dude, if an adult man is listen, I love massages. I love getting a massage. If I was a working person on set, I wouldn't even ask a grown man to give me a massage. Even knowing that a guy would probably love to be able to massage me and it would be happy for him and never a sad story, I wouldn't ask a guy to come rub me. Is that narcissistic to think it would be happy for him? I think that if I was on set and I was like to the boom guy, like, can you come rub me? I think he wouldn't be like, oh no, I'm going to tweet about this, you know?
Yeah, no.
But even then I wouldn't do it as a woman. And I love massages. Why does this guy look just like Brian Moses? It's blowing my mind. How is this not Brian Moses? I'm sorry. I keep trying not to say it because people are going to call me racist, but this guy looks just like fucking Brian Moses. That's insane.
He does.
That guy is, yeah. Whoa. I love it. But yeah, I had a lot of perverted teachers. My fucking driving teacher. You know what really offended me?
Gregory Hines, I think is his name.
Wow.
What really offended you?
He does look like Moses. That's crazy. It really offended me that, one, that I went to a school with so many teachers that were having relationships with students. More than 3 or 4, I think, which is a lot for 4 years in high school.
You're in Florida.
In Florida. Yeah, I guess that's pretty average. But
I feel like it's par for the course.
What really offended me is that the driver's ed teacher was really fucking mean to me and never nice. And then I found out he was dating female students. And he was just literally never even kind of nice to me. And it fucking kind of pissed me off when I found out. I was like, he's
like, this pedophile doesn't want to fuck me?
Yeah, I was like, he was so mean to me. He was like so mean to me that it kind of made me feel ugly in high school. And it kind of fucked me up a little bit. He was a mean asshole. And I remember he got mad at me because when I was doing my driver's test, I didn't use any of the front mirrors to reverse.
Okay.
To look back, I just put my hand back and went like this and did it. And he got mad at me. He was like, that's not how you do it. And he screamed at me because I was going too fast. And I swear to God, I am one of the best reverse drivers I've ever known. And I've never used a mirror in my life. And that's not how you do it. You dated a child. How are you going to tell me that I'm reverse driving bad when it's good and you're fucking kids? What are we doing here? What are we doing?
It is offensive when the pedophiles aren't attracted to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like what I do. Sorry. I'm not one of these white girls with pink nipples in Florida. That was another thing. The white girls were rampant. They were out of control there.
Yeah.
White girls, I'll tell you something. In 2000 and what year was it? In 2007, white girls wearing Confederate flag T-shirts in Florida were ruling the world. Those bitches could have been president with the belts and the shirts that said, "Don't tread on me. These colors never run, never have, never will." Those girls.
What are those girls up to now?
Oh, those girls have multiple kids named Waylon and Braxton. Multiple kids. Waylon, Braxton, they all have like some sort of asthma and allergy. All the kids are like slightly pink around the eyes. It's like you should have left the gene pool a little. Honestly, you could tell they really swam in the same pond their whole life. You know what I mean? But the kids are not doing great. Their diapers are always sagging. Even the ones that are doing great, you're like, it's going to get burnt if you leave it out. That's racist.
Growing up with pink nips.
Pink nips gets you a pink-eyed baby. That's what I'll tell you.
Pink-eyed, saggy diaper.
Yeah, no, but they're cool. Some of them are doing okay. You see your friends and they have multiple kids. I remember when it started shocking me when my friends had their second kids. Now I know people like my cousin who I grew up with. He has like 5 kids. I don't even know. I swear to God, and I'm not kidding, if you have more than 3 kids, I don't count anymore. If you have 3 kids or 6 kids, I'm not sure. It's the same. After 3, it's just like a litter. It's a literal litter. Yeah. Don't dogs have like 4 to 12 puppies? Like you have a litter of children.
Yeah, it's inappropriate.
My cousin seems like he loves it. He seems like he loves fatherhood. Every time I see him, he's like, it's the best thing of my life. And he has like bags under his eyes and he's like chasing kids and they're like, one's pulling his hair and he's like, I need a quick break. And he looks like he's literally on the edge of suicide and he's like, best thing I ever did. Like it literally means that he loves being a father, but it's like,
do you ever hang around with kids? Like it's exhausting to me.
It's very tiring, and they're not even mine. I wonder if it's less tiring when they're yours or more. It's definitely more tiring when they're yours, but
I don't.
You also have to kind of put up a front around kids that are being wild that aren't yours. Like you don't mind.
Do you?
Yeah, if they're being really bad and they're not your kids. I mean, my sister's kids, obviously, I'll say something. But like if you're hanging out with a friend and their kids are being crazy.
Oh yeah, you can't really say anything.
I have a friend. And I met their kid recently, and he was a biter at school, and you couldn't be like, oh, that's going to be a problem. Like out loud, but we all knew the kid that started biting earlier than everyone else. Come on. We know that kid. He's going to be tattooing himself in the 6th grade with a pen.
The way you said it is like everybody bites eventually, but this kid is biting early.
If you bite early, we got a biter. Like someone should say it like that. Like we got a biter on us.
Yeah, he has a Monster Energy tattoo.
Oh, yeah. Blessed right across the chest. for sure. Robs a gas station for scratch-offs.
Hey, some gotta win.
My first boyfriend did that. My very first boyfriend did that. My very first boyfriend, I think he just got out of prison. He's been in prison for 8 years.
What got him?
I don't know what got him, and I'm not sure of the whole story in general, but I do know that one of his friends got decapitated in the process. So something happened, and it had something to do with scratch-offs in a local gang. Someone stole someone's scratch-offs. This is a very Florida crime. Someone stole someone's scratch-offs, and a head got cut off. That's all I know. That's all the details I was given. One thing I will say about that guy that I dated, he was a sweet kid, and I mean this. Sometimes you really get to meet a criminal before they become a criminal. We dated before he was a criminal. Literally, I broke up with him the first day I found out he took a pill. It was like dramatic in middle school, but I was like, I'm not dating a pillhead, and that's exactly what happened. So I made the right choice. It was very dramatic in middle school, but I will say he was a really nice kid. He was very sweet. He was given horrible parents. And I really got to see the whole process from start to finish. And it makes you, like, as horrible as it is, humanize criminals a little more. You go like, but if you only knew what happened to him when he was a kid, cutting someone's head off is nothing. Like, that's just him releasing a little anger. I don't know what to tell you.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Wrong place, wrong time. Whoops. He might have slipped with his machete. What if he slipped? He was just running.
He was just doing some yard work.
He's a good boy, Judge. He's a good boy.
You're writing letters.
But yeah, I mean, shit gets dark. He was, his dad was bad. I used to spend the night at his house, and his dad would lie to my mom and say that he dropped me off at my girlfriend's house. And I'd be like, just tell him you dropped me off at Jessica's and I'm spending the night there. And my mom would call and she'd be like, did you drop her off? And then he'd be like, yeah. And I'd be in his son's room. That's kind of weird.
That's weird. And he'd sleep over.
And and I'd lie. He'd lie to my mom so I could sleep over with his son.
He's like, go get him, son.
Yeah, he was like, go fuck her. I mean, I never had sex with him, but yeah, very crazy. Anyways, that's a weird way to end the pod, but that's the end of the pod. I hope he's doing well. I never wrote him once. I hope he doesn't come out and do some weird revenge. I don't know why he would, because I dumped him before he became a criminal, but now I am talking about him on a podcast. But I do wish him well. And I think he's a good kid. You never said
anything bad.
No, he was a good kid, and that town was crazy. One last thing. That town where he came from was crazy. If you've ever heard of Micco, Florida, it's fucked, dude. Micco, Florida. Let's see if the headline comes up, actually. Micco, Florida, decapitated. Put in the name. Nothing. They might have taken it down. Oh, Florida man decapitated his dog. Fuck. When he was on a fentanyl detox. Oh, that's my ex too. No. Okay, we're gonna have to bleep out the name, but yeah, Micco, Florida is a very sad little town. It's actually beautiful, but it's like, oh God, a man dismember. Okay, there's a lot of dismembering that's happening in this town.
Yeah, I mean, if you just hop on the wave.
Yeah, so it's a thing that happens here, but yeah, oh yeah, and the kid that got killed by the alligator was near there too. You heard about that. He was running away from the police. He jumped into a swamp at night and got eaten by a gator while hiding from the police.
No.
Just sucks, dude. Yeah, it's a really beautiful town. But it's a 772. It's a very small place to live where there are lots of drugs and a lot of people doing drugs. I remember this girl, I worked at a summer camp center, and this girl used to come in middle school, and she used to just blow the kids. She was also a kid, but she'd blow the other kids. And we'd have to like keep her out like an animal. She'd be like, she's in here again. Keep an eye on her. Because the kids would like line up when they saw her. But anyways, I guess we'll end it there. Thanks for watching the Kim Congdon Takeover. Make sure you check out my special Childless MILF. Check out my other podcast, This Bitch with Sarah Weinshank. Shows on kimcongdon.com.
Dates?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of when this one's going to come out. This is the second one I'm going to do. Give me one quick second to look at dates. So that one's for here. This one's on the 3rd. Oh, tomorrow I will be in Houston at the Riot Comedy Festival for 3 days. I'm really excited about that. Thursday, Friday, Saturday shows, Riot Comedy Festival. Then on the 13th, I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. Then This Bitch and Friends, Netflix at the Comedy Store, May 7th, Tuesday, May 7th. Really excited for that. And I'll be at the Crystal Ballroom in Massachusetts, May 24th. And I can't wait to get that going. I am also coming to Jersey. I forgot that I need to send this guy all my information, but I'll be going to Jersey May 17th. I'll be in New Jersey doing, I don't know, check my website. Check my website, kimcongdon.com. Jersey, New York. I'm coming Massachusetts. I'm coming to you people. Come out, buy tickets, support. kimcongdon.com. Share my special if you haven't. Share this podcast if you haven't. Leave a comment. Any pedophiles go to your school? Did any of your ex-boyfriends ever decapitate anyone? Leave a comment if you can relate. And I'll see you next week. Bye.